I'm Steve Rose, President of the Board of Directors, as most of you know. Bottom line, we're really pleased to have Adriana here from Bluestream, who is going to give a presentation. As you all know, we have renegotiated the contract. It's an addendum to the contract, and it's really, really good. Our attorney did a fantastic job on the negotiations. Bluestream is actually okay with it, but we're getting a lot, and Adriana will be filling us in on that. And then there'll be a Q&A as well. So with that.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. How are you? Some of you familiar faces. My name's Adriana Nicholas. As you know, I've been working with Lauderdale West since probably 2021 during your transition with Bluestream Fiber. I know we've gone through our ups and downs, but I am so pleased to be here today to finally address some of the concerns and issues that we've had, but also give you the great news of the new product that is coming to Lauderdale West starting soon. So I'll go ahead and get started. As you guys know, you know Bluestream. We've been around for over 40 years, mainly Weston, Coral Springs. We've expanded throughout pretty much all of Florida. We're in Texas now, and hopefully other cities coming up. So today I just want to talk about a little bit of what's going to happen next year and how you're going to be able to get the new equipment and the upgrade. So we're just going to talk about the installation process, the product, and the services that you're going to be now getting. We're going to talk about upgrade options if in fact you need upgrades, but I'm going to tell you, to Steve's point, you've had a wonderful consultant attorney who negotiated an amazing package, honestly. So I don't think there's going to be much options for you to upgrade. We're going to talk about customer education and resources that are not going to be available with this new platform. And then at the end, I'll open it up and we can do some questions. And I have my teammate here, account manager Keisha Nay. She came here to support today, so she will be helping me with the questions part of it. But please keep in mind that every Tuesday and Thursday, we have someone sitting on site at the front. Her name is Barbara Wolf. You guys are familiar with her. You've worked with her. She is going to be handling this project from an account coordinator perspective. She'll be sitting here on site most of the time. So right now we're just doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, but more to come on that. She'll probably be doing more of a 5-day thing once we start registration. So just a quick reminder of your customer service and what is promised here. We do have your dedicated phone number that you guys are familiar with, which again, it'll be in one of the slides coming up, and you can go ahead and write that down once again if you don't have it. We do promise a 1 minute or less average speed to answer. So when you get through the IVR, I do want to say there has been some upgrades and changes to our IVR. I've heard the comments from, Christy, Steve, and a couple of you, which we're working through. I do appreciate the feedback. It's always really important for us to know so that way we can take it back to our leadership. We are 100% US-based customer service, so we are here. Our call centers are in Coral Springs. We do have one in Orlando and Port St. Lucie, I believe. The guarantee speeds and uptime is 99%. We do offer a performance report as well to your board of how the uptimes and downtimes, like how everything, the system's working, especially with this new platform, we have more access to more reports, which that'll be helpful to your board. And then we do have in-home one-on-one training during installation. So that's just kind of like a quick update of our customer experience. So let's talk about what's coming up next. So luckily for you guys, construction has been completed here since about 2020, 2019. So there's no need to worry about construction. There will not be any construction taking place at this time for the migration. It will not impact your home. It will not impact your area, your community. So there's no construction needed. All you have to worry about is the installation part of it, which you're going to have, once again, a tech in your home. At no cost, this is included within your upgrade. The tech is going to walk you through the new platform. He's going to install the new platform, teach you how to use it, how to work it. Also, please remember, we are going to be doing classes here at the clubhouse. We're going to be doing small groups where I'm going to be teaching you the platform, getting you more comfortable with it. Remember, once the tech is there, within a week or two, everybody has questions of how to work it. It even took me a minute to learn it. So I would advise, please keep those notes, make a note of what you can remember, what you can do, what you want to learn, and during those classes, you'll have the opportunity to work one-on-one with me. So no need to worry about the construction process. So just a quick reminder, you guys do have redundancy. So the way that works is we have a statewide redundancy and then we have a local ring. What that means, if for some reason there's a fiber cut or something, there's construction within your community with another vendor, doesn't have to be us, they touch our fiber, something happens, we have backup. We have a backup plan that will have you guys up and running in the meantime. So that's extremely helpful. Just keep that in mind. If it's due to a power outage, unfortunately, power's out, we do have a generator that will be getting installed for backup, and that's something I'm going to work with your board with. But there is a generator on our end that we're going to be providing to our plant. So if for some reason there's some sort of power outage or something happens, we also have backup as well. So now for the good part, the service updates. When are they coming? So on-site registration is going to be starting this July 2026. We are going to be hosting it here at the clubhouse. We're going to have representatives who are going to be here one-on-one to talk to you about your account. They're going to tell you what's being offered, which I'm also going to let you know today. But they're going to look at your account specifically. They're going to see what you're currently paying extra for and that you no longer are going to have to pay extra for. So, for example, if you are paying for additional speed right now, you no longer have to pay for that because of the speed that's not going to be provided through the contract. So we're going to start that in July. Then we're going to have the call-in registrations in July as well. So call-ins are basically if you cannot make it to see a representative on site, you can call in your dedicated number and it'll walk you through the registration prompts so you can speak to a live agent. It is going to be the same experience as you having someone here on site. It's just sometimes you get caught up, you get busy, you might not make it out here, you really want to get your services up and running, so we do have the call-in option as well. And then installation is expected to start August 2026, so that would be in August. So we start registration first, and then we move to installation. Please keep in mind we are going to do this by phases. The reason I say that by phases is because there is a lot of units here. As you guys know, you're close to 1,400 units. We cannot get everyone installed up and running in a week. We have to space this out by phases. So what we're going to do is we're going to randomly pick 400 addresses every 2 weeks, and we're going to drop the information for you guys because the call center and on-site cannot handle having all 1,300 units call at once. So we're just randomly picking addresses. There's not a specific area. We're just going to go pull the 400, and then we drop another communication. So just be on the lookout for the communication. Also, Christy and Steve are both working with us as well to communicate to those addresses and make sure they are reaching out, and we are making sure that when your turn comes, you can go ahead and reach out to us. Now to talk about the product and services and what you guys are actually getting and the difference between what you currently have and what you're going to be getting now. So amazing news, you guys are getting a gig. So a gig over a gig, symmetrical speed. So currently, I believe you guys are about 200 if I'm not mistaken. So now you're going to be going to a gig. That is a huge jump, just so you know that. That is huge. So typically we had residents here paying for that upgrade. You no longer have to pay for that. So you're going to be getting the gig over the gig, symmetrical speed. With that, it comes with our NOC team, our Network Operations Center. They will be monitoring the network if someone goes down, if the community's down. That has nothing to do with what you're viewing or what's within your home. We do not have access to any of that. We simply just check the modem status and make sure that all ONTs are online and that they're green. So we'll have 24/7 remote monitoring. And then the great news is now you're going to be getting what's called a pod. It is a total home Wi-Fi, which is basically, they're going to be plugged into your wall. They're very tiny. And what that pod is going to do is it's now spreading the service throughout your whole home. Currently, it's that way, but you might get better services in certain spots at this time. With the pods, it's not going to be spread throughout the home. So you could be in your kitchen, you can be in your bathroom. The network is spreading. The services are going to be spreading throughout the home. So you're going to have 2 of those. Please keep in mind, and the technician will remind you of that, when the technician installs them, they know specifically where they need to go because they survey the house, they walk throughout the house, and they check the status. We do not want to be touching those pots or moving them around because that will impact your services and you might have some issues with your services. So usually our technicians know exactly where it needs to go to be able to cover the whole entire home. So that's just something. And again, the tech will cover all that with you guys. So now for the TV portion of it, this is a huge upgrade. So now you guys are going to be getting the Digital Plus TV packages with over 300 channels. You guys are going to be getting the TiVo streaming channels as well. You guys are going to be getting the TiVo with Android TV and Google Assistant, which I'll go a little bit more into details about. You guys are going to be getting cloud DVR hours included, which is 100 hours. And I'm going to take a pause there because this is a huge thing for this community. As you all know, whenever we've had to send a tech to the home, and for some reason we have to swap out one of your boxes, your DVR recordings get lost. And I know that's been a huge thing here. And I know that a lot of people have complained about it and raised their voice. So now we have a cloud DVR. What that means is even if we have to change the box, it is cloud-based. Your DVR recordings are not going to go away. So that's a huge thing here because I know that was a problem. So you no longer have to worry about if one of our boxes for some reason goes down, which it shouldn't because you guys are getting the latest. But if it does happen, you no longer will lose your DVR recordings. So with that being said, you are now getting 3 boxes versus 2. So you're getting 3 set-top boxes. So if you're one of those that's paying for a 3rd box, 4th box, you no longer have to worry about that 3rd one. You are going to be getting 3 voice remotes. So you're going to be able to talk to your remote and ask for any channel, any show, anything that you need. You will still have your video on demand. And then the great thing about this is you now have access to the Bluestream Fiber app, and you can watch anything that you've recorded, anything that is live, and you're able to also watch the on-demand. So with the Watch TV Everywhere, now you'll be able to have more access to it. One of the other things is this is now compatible with the Fire Stick. So if you guys are one of those that's paying for a 4th or 5th box, you no longer will have to do that. Our technician can walk you through it. But if you just purchase a Fire Stick, you'll be able to get our services now through your Fire Stick with the TiVo IP. So when are we signing up and how are we going to do this? So we're going to be starting, like I said, signups. It's going to start shortly here, probably by end of June, and then registration will begin July. This is how registration is going to look. So the way we're going to do it is for the on-site consultations, we are going to be setting up in the front. Sorry, I put east side, but disregard that. So it's going to be here at the main clubhouse. More than likely it's going to be at the front desk where they open the doors back and forth. They're going to have sign-up sheets. Those sign-up sheets are going to look like, it's a little blurry, but it's pretty much here. It'll say like Monday, specific date, and then it'll give you 2 slots. For 9 a.m., we're going to have 2 reps. You can sign up for one, and then someone else can sign up for the other one. Same thing. 30 minutes later, we have another sign up. So these appointments typically take 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how many questions you have, what concerns you have. So we're going to have a sign up. So you're going to have to come to the clubhouse, fill out the form, and then we're going to have appointment cards next to the sign up where you can write your date and time. So that way we don't forget, or you can put it on your cell phone. So that's the way registration is going to work if you want to see someone on site. Now, if you just want to call in, we will provide the dates to whatever phase we're in. Hey, as of July 15th, you're able to call in and register. You can call in and you guys know your dedicated number. Again, I'm going to provide it later on in the slide and you can write it down once again. So those are going to be your 2 options. You can either come to the clubhouse, sign up for a date and time. Please remember, this is not for your installation. This is just to see a rep on site to be able to schedule your upgrade. And then when you sit with the rep, they'll give you a date and a time that our technicians are going to be there, and then that way you can go ahead and put that on your calendar as well. Now, at registration, residents are going to be getting additional information, which most of you already have the information, but again, we're going to be giving channel lineups, we're going to be giving service and pricing guides, we're going to be providing FAQs, so the package has all that information, just to kind of refresher, so you guys can remember what you're entitled to, what channels you're now eligible for. So all of that is going to be provided during your one-on-one with the rep, or if you decide you're going to call it in, Christy and team here at Lauderdale West will have additional ones, and you can stop by and grab yours. Keep in mind, you can also grab them from our landing page, your website that we have through Bluestream for Lauderdale West. You can grab that information there as well. So this is what I was referring to when I said you guys are not getting pods. So those 2 pods that you're entitled to. So typically, a standard Wi-Fi, it covers a good portion of the house, but it just covers like that area, With the total home Wi-Fi pods, you're basically getting coverage throughout the whole home. So now you can be moving, work from any spot in your home, and you're going to get the full coverage. So this is the difference with the pods that you're now entitled to. So this is how some of them look. They might look different. It depends. I believe yours are a little bit smaller, but it's something like this. So you guys are getting the latest. That was another thing that your consultant attorney negotiated. You guys are getting the 7s, which are the newest ones we have. So that's the reason why we haven't started upgrades, because we needed that equipment to arrive, and it has. So now we're good to go. But basically, there's more coverage. There's more security. You're able to, there's going to be an app if you're interested in. Your technician will walk you through it. There is an app for the pods, which you can go in there and basically set up your security if you don't want, your network to be open, if you want to set child lock, things like that. So there's a lot of options for these pods. So your technician will walk you through it. Now to talk about a little bit of the TV services, which is really where you guys are going to feel the difference, is the TV portion of it in a good way. So now you're going to have a lot more resources with this new platform. So you are going to have the TiVo IP. So currently you have the TiVo QAM. Now you're going to have the TiVo IP. So these boxes are wireless. All it needs is an HDMI and power. You're not going to have all these cables throughout your home. No, none of that is needed anymore. You're not going to have those. I know that was a huge thing too, the cables. So that's why you need a professional installer once again within your home, because we have to readjust your install and redo it completely. So now it is a wireless platform. It is simple and easy to use guide. There's visual displays with poster art, which makes it easier to navigate. Any screen in any room. So you're able to also record at different times. So you're able to record, I believe it's up to 6 shows at once. Yeah, up to 6 shows at once. It could be from any other TV. And then you have the easily find, play, record, and delete your shows. So now when you navigate the recordings, it's a lot easier. And then you have your network DVR, which, like I said, is now cloud-based. So you no longer have to worry about losing your DVR recordings. And then you have the feature that's called Start Over and Catch Up. So you're able to restart a show and also do the catch up on a show. If you didn't make it home with enough time, that's another feature, which again, this is why we need technicians within your home so they can teach you all these features. We also have get recommendations of what to watch. So based on what your recordings are, we will give you suggestions of shows that you might be interested in that are similar to those shows. So that's just another really nice feature. Say it, see it, and watch it. So you'll be able to talk to your Google Android assistant, and they'll be able to guide you if there's a specific show, a specific actor that you want to watch and see what movies are available from that actor. You can just say the name, and then all of those will pop up. It does navigate all platforms. So let's say you have Netflix. Let's say you have Amazon Prime. Let's say you have Hulu. It will navigate all those platforms when you speak to it to tell you which ones are free at no cost that you can watch. So that's a really good feature. Again, you need to be signed into these platforms, and those are memberships that you pay directly, which I'm sure most of you have. It will navigate Netflix, all of those. It will navigate even YouTube. It'll navigate and tell you what is the best option for you to watch all those movies from that actor. And then, like I mentioned, the Google Assistant. That's what the Google Assistant is, the person you can speak to, and then they'll be able to navigate the platform for you. So this is how the boxes look. They're extremely tiny. They're really, really tiny. They're easy to hide behind the TVs or put them in a, like in a furniture if you have. It does support 4K. Typically, like Super Bowl and things like that are aired on 4K, and it'll be available depending on the content. I know Netflix and other platforms do have 4K. We support it, so you'll be able to watch it in 4K. And then it does have the enhanced customer support through virtual technician system. So it does have resources to support you and walk you through the platform if for some reason you forget or might not know how to use something. It does have support as well. This is regarding the recordings. So like I said, we have the DVR storage is in the cloud. So cloud-based means that you will no longer have to be deleting it if for some reason you need a new box. It does have the OnePass, which I believe you might currently have the OnePass already with the Qualm. But the OnePass is basically you're able to record a series. So if something plays every Wednesday or every Thursday, you're able to set it up so it can record automatically. And then you're able to watch your recordings from any device anywhere, meaning if you travel, if you want to see your iPad, if you want to use a Fire Stick, use your phone, you're able to watch it. Do keep in mind there is certain channels that have restrictions if they're local channels, but usually it depends on what you're trying to watch. But it's just local channels do have restrictions if you're traveling somewhere else and you're trying to watch those recordings or live TV. The feature of the Google Assistant, this is so you're going to have access to the Google TV Play Store. So that means that you're going to be able to download any app that you would like that is available. So for example, Amazon Prime, the NBA, the MLB, YouTube, Netflix, the Nest, Spotify. Those are just some of them. You have so many apps to download. Some that if, for example, there's a channel that you like to watch overseas that is international, you're able to see, hey, which app it has it available so I can download it, and you'll be able to now watch it directly from your TV. You're not going to have to be switching HDMI outlets and inputs. I mean, you're not going to have to be switching or trying to watch it on your iPad. You're going to have access to it on your TV now. Most of the apps already come downloaded, like the Netflix, YouTube, the general ones already are downloaded to your box. But you will have to download additional ones, sports ones, things like that. But it is available through the App Store. Like I mentioned, you'll be able to find movies of your favorite actors or football or a specific team. Just speak to it and it'll navigate the platform. And like I said, it has the live TV recordings and streaming services. So this is the start over and the catch-up feature that I mentioned. So you're going to you see the blue arrow right there, the green arrow right up there. So anything that has the feature of catch-up and start over, when you go to the guide, you're going to see that arrow next to the show. That means that it's eligible to start over or catch up. So pretty much a start over is if you start watching a live show when it's already in progress, you can start over from the beginning. And then the catch-up feature is if you missed an episode when it was aired, you can do the catch-up and lets you watch it afterwards. This is the Google Assistant. So the Google Assistant is not just to ask for a specific channel, specific actor, specific movie. You're also able to ask questions to the Google Assistant. If for some reason you have people over at your house and they're discussing what happened in a specific Super Bowl, you're able to say, who won the Super Bowl in 1995, or just what is the date of Easter in 2021. You're able to ask all those questions. You're able to ask what restaurants are in your area as well. You're able to ask what the weather is like. And if you have additional equipment attached to your services, such as a thermostat or things like that, you're able to even say, hey, Google, can you set my thermostat to 70, for example. So those are just some of the features that are not available. And again, there's a lot of information here today. We are going to be posting this, I believe, on your website, probably on your community channel as well. There's a lot to learn here. That's why we're starting Town Hall so early. We're having another one next week, then another one the following week. We're going to be having educational classes. We have Barbara who's sitting on site already. So this is a lot of information to intake today. So if you feel overwhelmed, I completely understand. Just know this is going to be posted for you you to walk through it, perhaps study it yourself, go through the slideshow when you're at home calmly, and then you can write down your questions that come up and then visit us here on site. We'll answer those questions. So it is a lot of new technology. So I know it could be overwhelming. So to continue, our TV services do work with other devices, such as your phones, your tablets, your Amazon Fire Stick. So I'll take a pause here on the Fire Stick and the Apple TV. So you're able to download, we're compatible with the Apple TV and the Fire Stick. What that means is that you can download our app directly through these devices and plug it into your TV. So for those that have a fourth, a fifth box that they're paying for, you're just able to now get a Fire Stick, which I think they run about $29 or less if you get a good Amazon Prime Day or Walmart, Best Buy. You can get a Fire Stick, download our app through there, and you'll still get the same channels, the same live TV, and you're not having to now pay for an additional box. Even though you're now entitled to 3 boxes versus 2, but still, the Fire Stick is a really good option. Also, if you're traveling, if you're a snowbird, if you're here seasonal and you want to go back home, you can take your Fire Stick with you. So we don't work directly with Alexa. Alexa is from Amazon, like Amazon. So yes, Alexa will use our Wi-Fi in our network, but it doesn't mix in with the actual platform. But you are able to use our Wi-Fi for it. So some of you are probably aware of the app. So this is the Watch TV Everywhere. Keep in mind you are going to be getting information during our installation or upgrade. We are going to be providing books where it does walk you through. If, for example, if you're not registered yet for the Watch TV Everywhere, it'll walk you through it and how to do it. Pretty much this is what's going to allow you to watch the shows on the go, your recordings on the go, depending if it's not a local channel. And also it will allow you, if you do get a Fire Stick or an Apple TV, this is what's going to allow you to have access to our services. So this is just the app. So I don't want to go too much into it today because I want to talk more about the product and what the next steps are, but just keep in mind that this is a new feature. This is just briefly to tell you the differences between your actual set-top box and then if you do decide to use it through the app on the Fire Stick or on your tablet. The difference is you're still going to get your live TV, you're still going to get your interactive guide, you're still going to get your DVR recordings depending on the channel. Difference is, for example, voice remote. You have the voice remote feature right now with the boxes you're going to be getting. With the Fire Stick, you're using the Fire Stick remote. Some do happen to have voice, depending on which level of Fire Stick you do decide to purchase. But that's just one of the features. You can still access all your apps. So that's pretty much one of the big differences is really the voice remote. I don't believe this applies a lot to you guys. I know you do have some seasonals, but just know that if you are seasonal, you can simply just call our dedicated number, let them know, for example, if you're going up north for a couple months and you want to put your phone on hold, you do not have to put your internet and cable services on hold because this is already applying through your HOA, so there's no need to do that. You simply, if you do have phone or you have additional channels, just make sure that when you're heading out, you just give us a call and we put that on hold. This is just a few options. There's not really much upgrades for you guys because of the package that you're already getting, but if you do decide you want to get additional channels like Cinemax, Stars, they're going to be available. If you want the sports channel, that'll be available. Keep in mind that's not a contract. If at some point you decide I no longer want to have the sports package, just want to have it during season, you're able to call in and drop it, but these are just options. When you do meet with our representative, they'll provide you pricing if you want additional DVR hours as well. These are things that our representatives will discuss with you guys during your appointment. These are just options of how to protect your services with Bluestream. Obviously, as you know, if a box goes bad, if something happens on our end, we do cover that. That's on us. We do roll a tech out there. They determine that our box went bad. We are going to be covering that. However, there's other residents that for some reason want to have additional protection just because whether you have pets, whether fear of flooding or something happening that could potentially damage your equipment, we do have certain levels of protection, including some tech care support as well. So if you're someone that tends to need tech support and want to have a tech in your home or feel like you need that hand holding, we do have options at a low cost. These are just some of the packages. Again, this is all going to be provided during your appointment. I just kind of wanted to take a pause here and you guys can kind of see that we have the home protection plan, which I believe some of you already have here. Protects accidental fiber damage, external wiring issues caused by animal damage, accidental damage to phone wire, modem or ONT, basic customer education on Bluestream, so meaning if you do want to have a tech out here, it'll cover it as well. Then we have advanced tech care as well for any smart devices, troubleshooting printer issues. So those are more for like if you have your personal equipment. You know, typically we're not liable for touching your personal equipment. There is now options where we can, in fact, if you want to add that and you feel like that's going to be beneficial to you, we do have options now as well. So this is just an overall information and more to come on this. This is just to the devices that basically how they're affected by speed. This doesn't really apply to you. I did put it in here just for support, but I do believe you guys, you have the gig, so you're at our highest right now. So that really does have enough coverage and enough devices. So this is just to kind of show the differences of level. I know it's a little blurry, but again, this is going to be posted on your website, so you're able to go in there and look at it closely. As you all know, which I believe those who already have phone are probably going to keep their phone. So this doesn't really apply to you. If you don't have your phone, you're interested. This is just a little bit overall information of the features that it has. It does cover 29 popular calling features, including call waiting, anonymous call rejection. We do have great rates for international calling and making sure you stay connected to family and friends. You do have a special rate that you're locked into here for Lauderdale West at $19.95. So if anyone has any questions and does decide, hey, now it's time for me to get my phone, feel free to talk to your representative at the time of the appointment. So Total Tech Care powered by Assurance. So this is just what I was referring to when it comes to additional coverage and additional support on our end. So Assurance is, we work with them for home protection. It covers basic support and accidental damage to Bluestream Fiber's equipment, like modem, ONTs, phone wiring. But again, you don't have to necessarily enroll in this. It's just options we are offering. And again, talk to your rep, ask them, let them know what are your needs. Do you have pets? Do you feel like you have some level of concern with your equipment getting damaged, whether it's our equipment or your personal equipment? And again, we cover anything that goes down on our end as long as it was something that is on us. If it's accidental, that there is not covered. We will still go out there, we will still replace it, but there will more than likely be a fee for it. But again, tech determines that when they're on site. For the most part, I don't see this being a huge issue here. Haven't heard much of it, but if you're interested, find out when you sit with our reps. This is just regarding the bill, just how there's network if you do decide to get anything besides the bulk. So if you're only getting what you're entitled to, which is the internet and the cable, you don't have to worry about any of these fees. This is just if you do decide to add phone or if you decide to do paper billing, there is going to be fees. So I do highly suggest go ahead and do the paperless billing, which is via email. Which is, if not, you're going to be paying about an $8 fee for us to print the bill and ship it out. There is network recovery fees if you do decide to add phone or any additional services, and sports programming fee is $0, broadcast TV fee $0, and then there's always taxes to the phone services. So again, this only applies if you do have additional services. If not, you don't need to worry about it. So I'll take a pause here. This is for your dedicated phone number. If you don't already have it, which I'm pretty sure most of you should, this is where you're going to be calling in to make your appointment. If you do not come see someone in person, you can call this number. But this number is also for billing questions, customer service questions, tech support, anything related to Lauderdale West. This is the number you need to be calling. I believe some residents here just go and Google the number, and they are having long wait times. They're having residents that, they're having representatives that are maybe not familiar with Lauderdale West. They work more of the retail part of it. So they're not specifically giving you that Lauderdale West treatment because they're not going to the right department. So make sure you save this number. Anyone that answers this number is fully aware of who Lauderdale West is, that we're going through a migration, we're upgrading the equipment, and they know exactly what they have to do. So I'll take a second here so you guys can write this number down if you don't have it. Okay, I don't see any more phones out, so. Another resource that you guys do have, and I don't think everyone's fully aware of this resource here. I don't think it has been advertised enough because originally when we launched, it wasn't really, we hadn't developed it that well. So now we have the community landing page. So if you go to bluestreamfiber.com/Lauderdale West, you are able to get directly into your page that is only for Lauderdale West. There you'll be able to see what the services are. You're able to see the resources that you have as a community. You're able to see if you need to contact us. You're able to contact us directly through there. So this is just additional support that you guys have, and we've really enhanced it in the past year. So I think it's time that if you do want to stop by there and visit, you will be able to get your channel lineups from there. You'll be able to get your service and pricing guide from there. So they're currently in the process of upgrading it with all the new changes. So feel free to visit. Now to talk about a little bit about to talk a little bit more about customer education resources. So this will be a little bit different than when you first launched. I don't think all of the resources were available just yet back in 2020. So there is a lot more resources now available to the residents. So now you will be getting, during your installation, you'll be getting welcome cards. You'll be getting your personal in-home training with the technician. You will have an on-site group training sessions that will be hosted by me or someone from my team. We do have online learning hub. So again, this is just an example, but we'll provide all that information to you guys in your welcome book. But you do have an online learning hub now, which is really important because you have instructional videos. You have step-by-steps, how to reboot your remote or how to work this new platform because there is going to be a lot of information on there. So these are just new resources that previously might have not been during your launch in 2020, but now are available. We do have the Text Connect as well. So we now have the ability of texting the residents. So if you have an appointment, we remind, through text message, we remind you of your appointment. If for some reason there's a local outage or maintenance going on, we do reach out through text now. So make sure you enroll for the text. Originally, that was not an option when we first launched here, but now it is available to you all. You are going to be getting welcome books during your installation. So the welcome book is going to be a refresher for you guys on the resources that you have, the new product that you're getting, how to work the remote, how to set your online app if you need to, how to set up if you do decide to sign up for phone this time around. It'll tell you how to set up voicemail. So it does have a lot of information on there. So your technician will be providing that at the time of installation. This is also our online learning hub. Just a quick look of how it looks, our resource hub. If you go online, you have all these different options of what you're looking for, whether it's an installation setup, video, and streaming, whether it's home phone, whether it's billing and you're building your profile. So there's all these little resources that you're able to look through and click on which one you need help with. And that'll be on our website. So now I am going to open it up for questions. I believe there was a lot of information here today. So I will go ahead and start on this side. I do have my colleague here who's going to help me out. So if you have a question, just raise your hand and she'll go with the microphone.
So if I already have apps that I pay for, when that screen comes up, I can just download and re-enroll in the app? Because I don't pay for them through you.
Correct. Yeah. So those apps, you don't pay with them through us. So the way it's going to work, what I highly suggest is have your username and password for all your apps, because during the installation, when you get the Netflix, Amazon Prime, you're able to just log in again, and then it's going to be part of your platform already. So you can speak to your remote, and it'll take you to that app.
Perfect. And also the computers. So is that going to affect, I work at home.
Okay.
So is this going to affect my computer?
It shouldn't.
When you're doing the installation, am I going to lose my computer while I'm working?
It is very possible you will have a quick intermission there while they're plugging in the new modem.
But that's it?
Yeah,
Won't
that's
be-
it.
won't be
Yeah,
long.
your network username, password shouldn't be impacted. All your devices should jump right back on them because it's already through us. All we're doing is upgrading the modem to a newer one for higher speeds. But other than that, I would just highly suggest maybe do your appointment on a Saturday. So that way, the
Sure.
15 minutes that they're going to cut you off, it's not impacting your work.
That's for sure. Okay, thank you.
Correct. You will, to her question is, are you going to have to re-sign into all the apps again? Yes, we will need to re-sign back in because now you're using it through our platform. And that way it's easier to navigate. Correct. And I believe there was a question right here.
I hate standing up. I'm not standing up.
So, some residents were randomly picked to be testers because we wanted to make sure before your board moved forward with this decision, they wanted to feel comfortable and make sure we got different opinions from all types of residents, some that had issues before, some that were in a good spot. So I have a gentleman here who was one of the testers, and his question is, if you are a tester, do I need to have a re-registration, have another tech on site? Yes, you will. However, you don't necessarily have to register or call us in because we have that list. So Barbara, when she's sitting here on site, she's proactively going to reach out to any resident that already was upgraded because we do need to switch your POTS and your modem. They're both being upgraded.
So is there going to be, like right now, if you go on Prime, on regular that I pay for, it says I can't access Paramount Plus, and even though I'm covered under Prime for Paramount Plus, because it says Blue Stream doesn't allow it. Is Blue Stream going to allow it?
Yes, now the platform is different. It's an IP system, so you're going to be able to sign into your Paramount Plus, you're going to be able to sign into your Amazon Prime, and it's going to, like I said, when you speak to the remote and ask for Paramount Plus or ask for, I know Yellowstone is on Paramount Plus, when you ask for it, automatically it's going to take you there.
And will we be able to watch things like Hulu, et cetera?
Correct. Yes, but keep in mind, those are additional memberships, so you do need to be able to have your membership directly through them. But yes, now it's going to be through us. So you're able to log in, and everything's going to show through one platform.
So I don't have to switch to...
Correct. You're not going to have to be switching inputs or trying to go to different apps. No.
And last question is, the Bluetooth app for Blue Stream, when you first came out with it, I was able to watch whatever I wanted, and then all of a sudden, you guys figured out that we could do that, and you changed it. Am I going to be able to watch?
The app, like
Yeah.
our Blue Stream app, yes, yes. Now you're entitled to that. The thing is, you got to remember, you guys are in the older system, so that was shut down per TiVo, so you no longer could actually access the app and be able to watch. Now you have that feature. Now that's part of this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Be right.
Question.
Good. She has a very good point. So she says, moving forward with the new equipment, we are going to have the cloud-based DVR, meaning you're not going to lose your recordings. However, right now, if you're in the current system, you will be losing those recordings when we do the upgrade. So I highly suggest if you guys want to watch it and enjoy it, but keep in mind, now you're going to have all these streaming services. So your recordings are probably in one of the streaming services or in the on-demand as well. So remember, you are getting an upgrade as well, so there's going to be more features. But thank you for bringing that up. That was a really good point.
When does the registration you spoke about begin?
The registration is going to start in July.
There's a day?
We don't have an exact date. We're aiming for the first week of July, right after 4th of July. We're still working all of that out with your board, make sure they have the availability for us to sit on site, because we do have a team that will sit here 5 days a week. So we're just trying to figure that out, but communication should be going out shortly. So just be on the lookout.
It runs through...
It's going to run until we're able to upgrade everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, some people might at first not do it right away, and we're doing it in waves. Do keep in mind that probably starting beginning of next year, once we get all residents up and running, we do shut the old plan down. So we are going to be shutting the old plan down, which is amazing, because that way now your new system works even better. But in the meantime, that's why we want to move quick to make sure we get everyone on board, and then we can shut that one down. But again, you're going to be getting notices letting you know, hey, we're shutting down the old plan. You might go dark. That's for who doesn't upgrade, whoever stays on the old one. So give me 1 second. I think she had a question. Then I'll go to you.
I have the listing app on my phone, but I'm not here, I'm in another state, and there's no Wi-Fi at that house. Can I still, or you have to be in a location with Wi-Fi?
There has to, well, no, because if your phone has data, then you're able to watch it. Yes, your phone data, correct. Yeah, if you're not in Wi-Fi, then it uses your own data, but you're still able to access it. Just keep in mind there's certain restrictions to the local channels, but that's about it. Other than that, you'll still be able to see your recordings and...
And then my second question is, you're very fast answering service telephone calls. I have no problem. After the break, everything's installed, everybody's happy. And we have a service problem. In the past, we were given a 3 and 4 day appointment. Is that included?
So that is going to improve. Just keep in mind, you guys no longer use a third-party vendor for appointments. We are in-house. We're fully in-house here. That was a requirement. That was a requirement per your board. So we only use technicians that are directly from Bluestream. So that's why you might see a little bit of a hold. It's because we are just using in-house technicians. Now, if for some reason the fiber on the outside gets damaged, a landscape or something, we do have a third-party vendor that comes and fixes that because we don't typically do the fiber. But the reason you guys have noticed that wait time is because we only use our own technicians. And that was a requirement made by the board. We are going to be adding quota, making it bigger, making it, a lot more techs. So it definitely will be going down. It's just when you guys go BAU status, you're not going to have as many issues though. So I do see that wait time going down. Plus we're assigning more to here. Okay, I'll get your information just to kind of look at that one and see what happened with the route. That's a good point.
The wiring that's outside now,
Correct. What's going to change is the wiring inside. But our technician will clean it up when they go for the upgrade. They're going to clean it up, make sure the outside is good. They have to check it, make sure it doesn't need to be replaced. So that's part of the upgrade. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So if that happens, the technician is going to be making changes. If he needs to submit a ticket to maintenance to replace it completely, that's all going to happen. That's part of the deal. So the Amazon Alexa, we don't handle the Amazon Alexa. That's not through Bluestream. We don't handle Alexa. We don't provide that equipment. Yeah, Amazon does. Okay, sounds good.
Hi. If you have a power surge, sometimes the TV goes out now. Do we have to go fiddle behind something to, reboot it? Will that?
So not necessarily. Yeah, with the new system, not necessarily. You should come back up on its own. It might take a couple minutes, but it does come back on its own. Correct. You got to remember this is newer technology too. So, and again, those are case by cases. We'll have to definitely if it does happen. But no, the equipment should, even if it's resets, it should come back up automatically. It might just might not be in a minute. It might just take a couple minutes. But yeah, so you don't have to go mess around with the equipment.
Can you talk about the cost? Is there going to be an increased monthly cost?
No, not on our end, and I believe I will let your board speak on that. Do you want to, Steve? Because we don't have that information on our end.
There is no increase. In fact, it's a decrease.
Excellent.
So
Thank you.
bottom line, it's actually, the lawyer did a great job and got us down. I'm sorry?
Yeah, that was music to her ears.
Hey, it was me working with the attorney.
I got a
You can buy
two-part
me
question.
dinner.
I got a two-part question here, right here.
Yes.
We have, 200 channels now, we're going to be getting 300?
Yeah, you're getting more channels now,
So
yeah.
there's going to be more. Now, you mentioned Netflix and those others. Are they automatically included? Or
No.
So that's accessibility without subscription?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Just to clarify.
But most of you already have some of those memberships, so I'm just letting you know it'll be easier to navigate them now. But you are getting better channels, so that's good. So if you were paying for them originally, you no longer will have to pay for them. Because I know some of you were paying for Digital Plus.
Hello, you mentioned the stick, the Fire Stick, which is actually Amazon. How about Roku?
We are not compatible with Roku just yet. I know, that's a big question. So we just last year, we've always been compatible with Fire Stick with Amazon, but we were not compatible with Apple TV. And as of last year, we did become compatible with them. And the thing with Roku is they're owned by, I believe, is the competitor of the Fire Stick, Amazon. So it's given us a harder time to try to get a deal with them. But it's not something that it might happen. It's just as of right now. But you can still use your Roku. You just have to obviously switch the input, pretty much. Any other questions? Ooh, okay. Wait, I'm going to start over here.
I just wanted to ask you, I've had a problem in the past because I work and all the meetings and everything are usually after. I work, I don't know if this microphone.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
I'll repeat it if anything.
I work, so it's after 5 o'clock that I get off. And tonight, fortunately, there was a meeting, because all the other meetings are during the day. So for this installation, are there going to be any types of installation? Well, you said there's on a Saturday that we can do that. But for the registration, is there going to be a time that we can register come into the lobby, and there be a time for those who are working where it's past 5 o'clock and we can come in, like somebody here till 6 o'clock?
So to her point, she says if you're someone who works and don't get off till like 5 o'clock, are you guys going to have anyone on site for registration past the 4:30, which is usually our last appointment? That is something we can definitely bring up. We can make it work. It's just something that wasn't brought up yet, but this is the reason why we do these town halls, to kind of get your feedback, see what the needs are. So that's something I can definitely work with our registration team on, or even maybe do a Saturday registration if they allow us here to be on a Saturday, which I'm sure it wouldn't be an issue. We can make that work. I'll take that feedback. You can still call in, but to her point, sometimes you just rather see someone in person because you're able to understand them better. So I get your point. I'm like that. I'd rather do the one-on-one. Oh, I thought you had a question. Oh, feel free. Grab a cookie on the way out.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
a
go
quick question. Like today, I had to call Blue Stream because I'm having an issue with the box. And we try to troubleshoot it over the phone. Will that still be an issue if you have a trouble to call in Blue Stream and troubleshoot over the phone, or no?
Well, with this new equipment, you got to remember it's newer equipment, new technology. You should not have issues with the equipment, to be very honest. Yeah, down the line, a box might go bad, a remote might go bad. That's totally normal. That happens. But you shouldn't have any troubles having to call in to troubleshoot your equipment, especially that it's brand new. And they negotiated the top one for you. However, if you do happen to have an issue, still have a question, yeah, you will still have to call tech support and run it by them. But it shouldn't be the case as much anymore.
As much?
Well, no, it shouldn't be at all. Let me rephrase that. It shouldn't be an issue at all because you are getting top of the line
But
equipment.
you would still have to troubleshoot.
Yeah, the
unplug,
processes are still going to be the same.
Unplug, reset, do whatever. So
No. Unplugging and all that, not necessarily.
Because it's wireless Wi-Fi,
Correct.
you're saying.
Yeah, and just so you know, you're going to have access to the Plume app, which you're able to, the pod apps, which you're able to like also see if your speed is running up and it's normal, if you're able to see if something's offline. So there's a lot more resources now to not just have to call in. Yes, go ahead.
So we're going strictly wireless, strictly throughout the entire. So the pods will require nothing but an outlet, no wiring at all. And you're going to be cleaning up all the wires outside that are hanging or.
So yes, inside the home, the wiring is going to, as they're doing the upgrade, the wiring and all that is going to get fixed. Now outside, they're going to inspect it, make sure, because some people's wiring outside is fine. Those that are, like she said, beat up or had some issues, yeah, the technician's going to be evaluating all of that during the upgrade. Correct, it's to the modem. Correct. No
Okay,
coax.
but I want to clarify something. There's a lot of wires behind a lot of units, especially the plexes, that have nothing to do with Blue Stream. And that's an issue that we're trying to figure out. I don't want to have anybody cut a wire and go, oops. So we're trying to figure out who's whom in those outside. I got 6 of them outside. And I haven't touched them because I have no idea who, what, where, how. But the bottom line is Blue Stream will be looking at their outside wiring and making sure that's kosher.
Yeah, and if you want during the installation, you can have the technician point out which one is Blue Stream so you can know the color, which one it is, where it's running to, in case you decide, you want to have the other ones cut or whatnot, which I don't recommend because if you do cut Comcast or another provider, if you end up selling your home eventually, it's just going to be a headache, to be honest. But some people do decide to cut them, so that's really up to you. But our technician can point out which one we are. Okay. All right, just keep in mind we are, I think there's another question. Oh, there's some questions in the back.
We want to hear you.
So we're totally wireless now, right? That means,
Are they going to prioritize people who've had problems before?
So the way we're doing it, so her question is people that have had problems in the past, are they going to prioritize them? So we are just randomly picking the addresses that are going to start. If you are one of those people that feel that want to be first, I could definitely take your information. But again, we're going to randomly do it to be fair to the entire community because I think a lot of residents here have had issues. So to be fair, we're going to just randomly pick per face. So, but we can get your information and we'll talk.
we're going to be totally wireless now. Are they going to take out the cables that you guys put in the last time?
Yes, we'll clean those cables out.
Okay, that means we can do TV anywhere?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'll get your information now. We'll talk. I got you. So, I think at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up. What I'm going to do is myself and my colleague, we're going to be hanging out around here for a little bit. If you have any questions and you want to come up to us, we're more than happy to. Again, I do want to mention, this was a lot of information for one night. This is a lot. You got to remember, it's a brand new platform. There's a lot of steps to it between registration, installation, and signing up. It is a lot. Just remember, we are going to be here next week as well. We're going to be here the following week doing the same scenario here at Town Hall. But in the meantime, you do have Barbara, who sits on site every Tuesday and Thursday. Please, once you let this all settle in today, you kind of get a better picture of what we're doing here. Come visit Barbara on Tuesday, ask her any questions that maybe popped up afterwards. And again, we're going to be providing this deck to your board, which they will be also providing. I think it's better when you can actually have it in front of you, read through it calmly, maybe take a couple slides a day and learn more about it. So again, if this is a lot of information, I completely agree. I understand. So we're going to be here in the back, hanging out for a little bit if you have any specific questions. I do have two people that had one last question. I'm going to get to you, but I believe you also had a question. And then I'll hand it over to you, Steve.
Well, the question I have is basically by changing the Wi-Fi, it's not going to affect anything that's on Wi-Fi now.
No. So his question was, which I believe I mentioned earlier, I'm going to remind you guys, he is concerned that if the current equipment that's on the Wi-Fi, is it going to drop when we make the change? No, it won't. No, it won't, because yeah. Well, while we're making the change and we're in the home, yeah, you're going to drop Wi-Fi for a little bit, for a couple minutes. But I think to his point was the Ring camera, the iPads, computers, those are all going to jump back on once the technician's done.
I'll talk to you.
All right. Let's give her a round of applause. A lot of information, and appreciate it. We will have the slides on the website in a little bit, once we get them. Secondly, pay attention to your emails. You will be getting email from Bluestream, the registration, bottom line. Just pay attention if you see a Bluestream email. It's very important. With that, there are refreshments in the back, supplied by Lauderdale West. So thank you. Take care, everyone.